Top 10 Heroclix figures coming right up. Mr. Clicksflix is brought to you by Lucky Dice Cafe out of Huntsville, Alabama, home of the ROC. No matter if you're in the United States or around the world, Lucky Dice Cafe has the winning role for our gaming needs. You can visit them at LuckyDiceCafe.com or on their Facebook page using the link from the description of this video. Mr. Clicksflix is brought to you by TrollandToad.com, one of the largest online gaming retailers. Please visit TrollandToad.com and use the promo code Mr. Clicksflix for 5% off your Heroclix purchase today. Up first, we have Silver Sable, number 002 in the set. She has the Wild Pack and Soldier keywords. She has one trait, which is called I Work Better with a Team. During force construction, choose a named keyword. Silver Sable gains that keyword. And that's really awesome. That really helps her in sealed, but it also helps her, I believe, in constructed long term. She's 50 points, has the SpiderMan ally team ability, 5 range single target, 8 movement with sidestep, 11 attack, energy explosion, 17 defense with mastermind, and 3 damage with leadership. So basically what she does is for 50 points she has the Spider-Man ally team ability. So if you have the Defender's team ability and you think you can give her a higher defense, if you have Sinister Syndicate or Batman enemy team ability, she can copy that and share around her 11 attack, which I'm sure you'd enjoy on a team. And then if you have a name keyword that's lacking leadership, she brings that leadership to the table, and just on her own, she's a fairly competent range attacker. Definitely one of the best figures in the set in my book. Next up, we have Spider-Man, number 015 in the set. He has the Earth X Spider-Man family police and reporter keywords. He has one special on his movement called Everyone Has Power, so my only responsibility is to my daughter. Leap Climb. When Spider-Man moves, after resolutions you may choose a friendly standard character occupying a square adjacent to one he moved through. If you do, place that character adjacent and it can't be given a costed action this turn. Now, as some of you might remember in my set review, I kind of dogged on this figure, but he really won me over to WizKids Open to where he's now on the top 10 best figures of this set. He made that big of an impression on me. He's only 30 points, has the PD team ability, Spider-Man ally team ability, starts off with an 8 movement with that special, 9 attack, 17 defense with super senses, 1 damage with support. Then he gets perplex late in his dial. And really what you're doing is you're going to move and attack with your main character, and then you're going to use Spider-Man to get them out of trouble. And if they want to spend, a whole attack on a 30-point figure that might make it Super Senses roll, they can do that. PD team ability decreases opposing character's defense by 1. So this guy's just really helpful the whole way around. So definitely one of the 10 best figures in the set, and I was mistaken in that set review, and I'm happy that he's here right now. Next up, we have Fancy Dan, number 021 in the set. He has the Enforcers, Magia, and Martial Artist keywords. He has one trait and a special on his damage. His trait is called New Boss Every Week. At the beginning of the game, choose a friendly character that can use Leadership or Mastermind, and a keyword that character has. Fancy Dan gains that keyword. This doesn't affect theme teams. Now, the reason that's important is because he has the Underworld team ability, so he can carry a character if he shares a keyword. So that's why it's important that even if it's after force construction, it still just makes it so that he can, transport some figures, which is cool. Then he has a special on his damage called You Two Mooks Listen Up. Range Combat Expert, Power. Choose 2 other friendly characters within range and the Enforcer's keyword. This turn, those characters have free Make an Attack, and that is awesome. So he has, he's only 30 points, has Range Combat Expert, so he does have the ability to get that 2 damage up to a 4, but more importantly, what you're going to use him for 99% of the time is to give free attacks to characters with the Enforcer's keywords. Now, in Sealed, there's a bunch to choose from. In Constructed, there are even more characters that you could give the Enforcer's keyword to. I think we're going to see this guy on a few different competitive teams, at least trying it out, and I think it's definitely worth that. Starts off with a 6 range single target, 8 movement with sidestep, 10 attack, 17 defense with energy shield deflection, 2 damage with that special. Like I said, this guy's just really good all around, good to experiment with. Definitely feel that he's one of the 10 best figures in this set. Next up we have the Skull, number 30 in the set. He has the Earth-X keyword, 1 trait, and a special on his defense. His trait is called If He Can See You, He Can Control You, Mind Control. When the Skull uses it as a range, he may target one character regardless of range, still requires line of fire, but can't target other characters. So basically you have full board mind control, which is just awesome. And then he has a special on his defense called Don't Raise Your Hand Against Me, Stop, Mastermind. When the Skull uses Mastermind, he may choose a friendly character regardless of point value. So he's only 40 points, has a 0 range triple target, 7 movement with sidestep, a massive 12 attack, 16 defense with combat reflexes, 1 damage with leadership. And then on his last 2 clicks, he has that stop click on his defense and perplex on his very last click. This guy's just phenomenal. Full board mind control is great. 12 attacks, phenomenal. And on top of that, if that wasn't enough, he also brings a leadership, so you get +1 actions for the game as long as he's on leadership and on your team, which is just awesome. Earth-X isn't that great of a keyword in Constructed, but I do think this guy will see meta play, or at least attempted meta play. Definitely one of the best figures in this set. Next up, we have Vulture, number 19B in the set. He has the Magia and Brute keywords, Improved Movement, Ignores Characters, a trait, and a special on his movement. His trait is called Time to Make My Getaway. When Vulture KOs a character, after resolutions, he can use charge at no cost. So being able to do charge after a character is KO'd is just big. That means that you're going to be able to get multiple attacks off per turn. Then the special on his movement is called Let's See What This Suit Can Do, Charge Sidestep. When Vulture uses Sidestep, you may roll a d6. 4 through 6, he can use Sidestep a second time this turn. So he has a possibility of basically a 4-move Sidestep. And then when you look at his dial, he's got a 9 movement, so he can charge for 5. So it's basically a 9 movement charge. And then if you attack and you KO figure, which you're very likely to with that 11 attack with super strength, so you're hitting with a heavy object for 5, then you can charge again, and you can just keep charging until you don't KO figure, which is phenomenal. He's only 50 points, which is outstanding. No range, 9 movement with that special, and the flight ability, 11 attack, super strength, 18 defense with toughness, and 3 damage. I really think we're going to see a lot of play with these particular figure. One of the stronger primes just in modern age period, and definitely one of the best figures in the Earth-X Heroclix set. Next up, we have Steger, number 038 in the set. He has the Battleworld Spider Island, Shield, Savage Land, Sinister Syndicate, Animal, and Scientist keywords. He has 2 traits. The first one is called Retrogeneration Ray. The bystanders printed on this card are dinosaurs. At the beginning of the game, generate 1 of each dinosaur. Power, generate a dinosaur if the dinosaur is not already on the map. So really cool there. We're getting bystanders, and what they are is there's 3 of them. There's a Stegosaurus, a Brontosaurus, and a T-Rex. All of them are really good at close combat. They have different things going on. The T-Rex is probably the most offensively capable with a 5 movement charge, 10 attack with Blaze Claw's Fangs, 3 damage Battle Fury. But the Stegosaurus has Mystic's team ability and a 3 damage, which is nothing to sneeze at. And the Brontosaurus has a 9 attack with Quake and Impervious. So all of those are pretty good, especially when you consider that they're basically free along with this figure, which is even better. Then his other trait is called Stampede, double power action. This turn, Steger and his dinosaur bystanders have free move, then make a close attack. So they all have a free full movement and then attack. So between 3 and 5 square movement, then make attack. Then if you have the available actions for that turn, they can make a costed action attack, which is just phenomenal. And that's on top of what Steger does for you also. He's only 75 points, doesn't have a range, starts off with a 7 movement with charge, 10 attack, Blaze Claw's Fangs, 18 defense with invulnerability, 3 damage with Empower. For 75 points, I really think we're going to see some people trying to play double Steger on some teams. Scientist is a really strong keyword. I like that it has Savage Land, even though that's not the strongest keyword ever. And this guy's just fun. You can play him for fun games and not feel bad about it. You can give him a competitive go and definitely stand a chance. For sure, one of the best figures in this set. Next up we have Black Bolt, number 47 in the set. He has the Earth X, Inhumans, and Ruler keywords. He has 2 traits and a special on his attack. His first trait is called Terragenesis twice. When a friendly character targets Black Bolt with Perplex, after resolutions, roll a d6. If the result is less than Black Bolt's click number, modify the chosen value an additional +1. So, you got to get beat up a little for that to become an issue, but definitely cool to get extra perplexes when probably you'd most need it. His other trait is called Only One Man Could Move That Quietly. When Black Bolt has no action tokens, lines of fire drawn to him are blocked. That's really huge. There's a bunch of figures that can move around the board, some that even share keywords with them in set and in constructed. That's really a good power there. For those of you that would like to do something like that. Then the special on his attack is called Wound with a Whisper, Shatter with a Scream. Pulse Wave. When Black Bolt uses it, he can use Pulse Wave. When Black Bolt uses it, he can use Improved Targeting Blocking, and you may choose a number from 1 through 5 to be the range value for Pulse Wave. You don't have it and can't modify it. After resolutions, destroy all blocking terrain within that use of Pulse Wave's range. So that's really cool there. Blocking terrain is really one of the only things that can block Pulse Wave, and he gets around that, and a 5 range Pulse Wave is actually a very big area of effect. He's got 2 different point values, 150 and 100 points. Starts off with an 8 range single target. At 150 points, has an 8 movement with hypersonic speed and the flight ability, 11 attack with precision strike, 18 defense with invincible, and a massive 5 damage with leadership. And then at 100 points, he has a 9 movement with running shot, 11 attack with psychic blast, 17 defense with invincible, and 3 damage. Both of these point values aren't bad. He has move and attack his entire dial. I like the 150 point dial more. Hypersonic speed's just a better power. That massive 5 damage just can't be ignored, and the 11 attack with precision strikes just always helpful. Definitely one of the best, if not the best, sealed pool you can have, and one of the best figures in this set. Next up we have Iron Man, number 56 in the set. He has the Avengers, Earth-X, Stark Industry, Armor, Robot, and Scientist keywords. He has a trait, a special on his attack, his defense, and his damage. His trait is called Iron Avengers. The bystanders printed on this card are Iron Avengers. At the beginning of the game, generate 2 different Iron Avengers. Whenever an Iron Avenger is KO'd, after resolutions, roll a d6. 1 or 2, deal Iron Man 1 unavoidable damage. So what are the Iron Avengers? The ones printed on the card are called Monolith, Steelbow, and Sting. So Monolith is basically Giant Man, Steelbow is Hawkeye, and Sting is Yellow Jacket. They all have indomitability. They all have flight, and they all have a 10 attack and 2 damage, and then just different things about them. Sting is a running shot psychic blaster. Steelbow is a triple target energy exploder with range combat expert. Monolith is a sidestepper with quake and close combat expert. All of them have their uses, and they're just really cool and helpful in game. Then the special he has on his attack is called, I have a mission for you. Power, generate an Iron Avenger that isn't already on the map. So you get your 2 for free at the beginning of the game, and then you can take a power action to generate the 3rd one, which is really cool. The special on his defense is called Leave It to the Billionaire to Buy the World Some Time. Stop, Invincible. In this game, Iron Man can't be healed above this stop click, which is really cool there. When we discuss more of his dial, we'll talk about that. And then the special on his damage is called Iron Manor. When Iron Man hits the highest point opposing character on the map, after resolutions, generate an Iron Avenger that isn't already on the map. Protected Outwit. So really cool there. He's 125 points. Starts off with some abysmal stats, but that's because the Iron Avengers are going to be doing most of the work. And then once he gets to that stop click on click 3, he just lets it fly. He has a 7 range single target. Starts off with a 0 movement with Force Blast, 0 attack with that special, 18 defense with barrier and indomitability, 0 damage. And then when you do get to his stop click, he has a 10 movement with running shot, 11 attack, 18 defense with that special, and 4 damage. I definitely feel like this guy will see some sealed play if you pull him, and then constructed when you run him with the Iron Man Mansion that comes with the fast forces for this set. Definitely one of the best figures in this set, in my opinion. Next up, we have Captain America Resilient, number 52 in the set. He has the Avengers, Earth-X, Shield, and Soldier keywords. He has one trait, which is called Title Character. He starts off with 1 plot point, has 3 +1s, and 1 -3. His +1 plot point is a journey of failure and redemption. Free, move up to 1 square, then make an attack. So really cool there. Free movement attack's always good, and then you can still make your regular attack. His other +1 is called Fight Against Slavery with Bind. Free, until your next turn, friendly characters modify defense +2 when targeted by mind control. Mind control is really popular right now, both in the meta and just generally you're seeing it on a lot of figures, so to get a +2 defense against it is really good. Then his other +1 is called A Gathering of Those Heroes Left. Free, move each other friendly character 1 square, which is phenomenal. That's just a good thing. And then his -3 is, I'm sorry I failed you, but the war ends now. Power, place Captain America Resilient into a square that is adjacent to both an opposing character and a square of hindering or blocking terrain. Then make a close attack. If Captain America Resilient KOs an opposing character with that attack, give him 3 plot points. So basically you spend 3 and you might get 3 back if you KO somebody. He's only 80 points, starts off with a 4 range single target, 7 movement with running shot, a massive 12 attack, 18 defense with defend and indomitability, and a 3 damage with perplex. I definitely think you're going to see this guy in constructed a lot. Avengers is an extremely powerful keyword. Shield also isn't bad, and Soldier isn't bad. There's a few different team builds that you're going to see this figure on. I definitely feel like he is one of the strongest from this Earth-X set. Next up, we have Captain Venom, number 62 in the set. He has the Avengers, Monster, and Soldier keywords. He has improved movement, ignores elevated and hindering terrain, has 3 traits, and a special on his damage. His first trait is called Alien Symbiote. Plasticity, shape change. Captain Venom automatically breaks away. All of those are good. There's no drawbacks to any of those. Then his other trait is called Call in Help from the Venomverse. Once per turn for all characters with this trait, when Captain Venom hits an opposing character, after resolutions you may roll a d6, 3 through 6. Place another friendly character whose name includes Venom adjacent to Captain Venom. That's a callback to a special trait from Superior Foes of Spider-Man that was called Call in Help from the Spider-Verse. It's just really cool to see another version of it. His third trait is called Eddie, You're Just the Man We Need. During game setup, when establishing theme teams, you may treat the monster keyword as a named theme team. That's huge. Giving a generic keyword named keyword perks is phenomenal. Monster keyword actually won this past year's World Championship, so to give them the perks of a named theme team is just, it makes him even that much better. The special on his damage is called Ready to Serve My Species. Leadership. When another friendly character with the monster keyword attacks, modify its attack +1 if Captain Venom attacked this turn. Captain Venom has 2 different point values, 75 and 50 points. Starts off with a 4 range single target. At 75 points he starts with a 9 movement with charge, 11 attack with quake, 18 defense with combat reflexes and indomitability, 3 damage with that special. And then at 50 points, he starts off with a 9 movement with charge, 11 attack with quake, 17 defense with combat reflexes and indomitability, and 3 damage. If you're playing him on a non-competitive team, I would say run him at 75. If you're playing him on a competitive team, run him at 50. You're only losing 1 stat point in the defense. And this guy's just phenomenal. He makes a competitive keyword more competitive, and the sculpt on this thing's just amazing, and it's just a good figure by itself. So definitely one of the best figures in this set. Alright guys, let me know in the comments below what your favorite figure is from this set. Really enjoy reading that stuff. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, give it a share. It really helps keep me motivated to make these videos. That's all I have for you today. As always, please remember that it's only critical miss if you don't have probability control.